Hi everybody and welcome to Teen Book Tuesday. My name is Lorie and I'm the teen librarian at Manlius Library, and today I'm here to tell you about some realistic fiction. Not necessarily new books, but some of my favorites, because it's summertime and there's more time to read. And sometimes you come in to look for the brand new books and they're checked out. So you put them on hold, but you still need something to read. So 2 weeks ago I told you about some of my favorite fantasy books. Last week, I talked about historical fiction and some of my favorites in that genre. Well, this week, I'm going to tell you about some realistic fiction. And I have a whole range of topics and books to cover. The first one it's fairly new. It's called I'm Not Dying With You Tonight. And it's by Kimberly Jones and Gilly Segal. Jilly Segal. And this is the story of Lena and Campbell. And they couldn't be more opposite. They have different interests, they have different friends, they have different economic levels of their family, they have different socioeconomic status, and they attend two different schools. Well, they both happen to attend the Friday night football game, which is the rivalry between their two schools. And at the football game, violence breaks out. There's been racial tension and socioeconomic tension between the two schools for a long time, and there's a shooting. And then the police show up and there is more violence, and it really becomes a very dangerous situation. And Lena and Campbell have to depend upon each other to get out of the situation. They need to escape, they need to get to safety, and they need to do it without dying. It's a wonderful story told from both of their voices, and it is as real as they come. And Kimberly and Jilly have written a new book, and it comes out this September. I've already ordered it, so watch for that. But this one is I'm Not Dying With You Tonight by Kimberly Jones and Jilly Segal. It is really a fabulous book. It talks about the same story the same events from two different points of view and brings them together, and they really have to depend on each other to survive. This next one is by Jason Reynolds, and it's called Long Way Down. And the entire book takes place in 60 seconds. It's a novel in verse, so it reads really fast, but it doesn't read flowery like some poetry that you might see. It is the story of Will, whose older brother Sean has just been shot dead. 60 seconds, 7 floors, 3 rules, 1 gun. The rules are: number 1, no crying. Don't, no matter what. Number 2, snitching. Don't, no matter what. Number 3, revenge. Do, no matter what. But bullets miss and can get the wrong guy, and there's always someone else who knows how to follow the rules. This is just an intense ride, literally, in 60 seconds. It's called Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. And actually, anything by Jason Reynolds will hit you with a gut punch, but they're wonderful. They're just fabulous. Okay, something completely different. Jenny Han, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. You may recognize this. It's one of a series of movies on Netflix now. There's a trilogy of books. This is the first one. It's the story of Lara Jean, who has always written love letters to the boys that she loves. There's been 5 of them. Not 5 letters, but 5 boys. She keeps them in a hat box. A safe, special hat box that was her mother's. And then one day, those letters get mailed to the boys that she wrote them to. And all of a sudden, her world is turned upside down. And so is her social life and her love life. And this is the story of Lara Jean, her letters, and what happens when they get out there. There's 2 sequels to this. Lara Jean's story follows through. They're wonderful. They're fun and romantic and funny and real. And this one is called To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And she's written lots of other books, not just this series. Okay. On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. You may recognize her name. She also wrote The Hate You Give, which is a movie now. I believe it's available on Netflix. It was wonderful. The book was even better. And I just love On the Come Up. This is the story of Bree. And Bree's father was a hip-hop artist who died just before he made it big. He was killed just before he made it big. And Bree's dream her entire life has been to be the greatest rapper of all time, or to be one of the greatest rappers of all times. And all of a sudden, her newest hit, her first single, has hit it big. But it's hit it big for all the wrong reasons. It's making money, but she's getting a reputation, and it's not one that she really wants. But so she's got choices to make, because eviction is looming over her family, and the refrigerator is empty, and her family really needs her to make it big to survive. But to do so, she has to make some choices that she might not necessarily want to. It's real. It's fabulous. And it's called On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I read this one quite a while ago. It's called Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I believe this one is also a movie. I believe this is also a movie. This is the story of Madeline, who lives in her room because she has a disease that is so rare she can't leave, because she's literally allergic to the world. They don't really know what causes it. She just knows that she can't leave the safety of her hermetically sealed house. So she sees her world through her bedroom window. And then one day, Ollie, just fun-loving, weird, loud, bright red hair Ollie, moves in next door, and they make a connection, and they have an adventure. And Madeline discovers some things that are pretty surprising. This is called Everything Everything. It's by Nicola Yoon. I recommend everything, no pun intended, everything that she's written. This is full of romance and heart, and it's just so smart and funny. And the tagline is, the greatest risk is not taking one. Well, she takes some risks. Finally, I discovered this book after I read the sequel. The sequel is called Misfits in Love, and I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. This one is called Saints and Misfits, and it's by S.K. Ali. And I'm going to read, actually, the first couple of pages. Misfit. I'm in the water. Only my eyes are visible, and I blow bubbles to ensure the rest of me stays submerged until the opportune time. Besides the lifeguard watching from his perch, there's a gaggle of girls my age patrolling the beach with younger siblings in tow. They pace in their flip-flops and bikinis, and I wait. The ideal time is when no one's around and no one's looking. But right now there's a little girl cross-legged on wooden bleachers peering at me from beneath a hand held aloft at her forehead, a smile on her face. I can't tell if the smile is a result of how long she's been watching me bob here in the water. To check whether she's staring, I test her with a long gaze to the left of the bleachers, where Dad and his wife, Linda, are barbecuing. Their oldest son, Logan, round and berry brown from a day in the sun, is digging a hole nearby, while the newest addition, Luke, lies on a quilt wearing a swim diaper. Dad said I'd love it here, because the beachfront cottage they'd rented was one of the only two Sherry and Ed had let out this weekend. Secluded, serene, safe. Ha! Sherry and Ed forgot to mention that the beach portion doesn't actually belong to them and is public property at all hours of the day. Party central. I look back and hallelujah, the girl on the bleachers is gone. There's also a lull on the shore now. The lifeguards turn to talk to someone behind him, and the beach girls are on the far side peering at a sandcastle. I stand and cringe at the sucking sound as my swimsuit sticks to me, all 4 yards of the spandex lycra blend of it. Waterfalls gush out of the many hems on the outfit, and as I hobble out of the lake, more secret pockets release their water. I'm a drippy, squelchy mess stumbling toward Dad and Linda, picking up tons of sand as I move. I refuse to look around in case everyone, is watching me. Maybe my face reveals something, because Dad starts in right away. Jana, why do you have to wear that thing? You could have said, no, I'm not wearing your burkini, Mom. He waves around long tongs as he speaks. Mom didn't get it for me. I ordered it online. I saw her hand it to you as you were packing up the car. Because I'd left it on the hall table, Dad. It's kind of her thing. What's wrong with the way Linda's dressed? He snaps the tongs at Linda. She's wearing a one-piece, just had a baby, flouncy at the hips number. And really, I'd rather be in my burkini. It's black and sleek. Sure, when it gets wet, you kind of resemble a droopy sea lion, but at least it isn't pink and lime green like Linda's swimsuit is. Linda, you look great. I smile at her and she smooths out her flounces. Too bad you're not her size. She could have lent you one of her suits, right, Linda? Dad, I won't wear it. I'm a hijabi, remember? I take a plate and add a piece of chicken from the platter. At the beach? Even at the beach? Dad's gesticulating again and looking around for, I don't know what. When he spies a woman unfolding a lounge chair nearby and starts talking louder, I realize it's for an audience. He wants an audience while he rants at me. Maybe I should have listened to Mom and not come. My first vacation with Dad's family since my parents split when I was 11, and it's like I'm a visitor among earthlings, frolicking on a beach in Florida. Before this, I'd only spent the odd weekend here and there with Dad at his house in Chicago. I was Daddy's princess back then. The woman in the chair listens intently as Dad lectures. Linda's got a hand on his arm, and it's traveling up to his shoulder with a firmer grip. But he's still talking. How come you have to hide your God-given body? He turns a few burgers over. He's wearing a white t-shirt and red shorts over his God-given body. It's not me who forces her to dress like that, that's for sure. The woman looks at me, then at Dad, and then opens a book. Linda places a hand on my glistening black back and hands me a can of pop. I'll get you a burger when they're done, she whispers. I move to sit on the bleachers before I realize the beach girls are sauntering this way again. I'm a swirl of sand art against a black canvas. I duck under the wooden slats of the seats. Cradling my plate on crossed legs, I flip back the swim cap that's attached to my suit and undo my hair. Sand trickles down with the beads of water. Some of it falls on my chicken. Flannery O'Connor, my favorite author. That's who I need right now. Flannery would take me away from here and deposit me into her fictitious world crawling with self-righteous saints and larger-than-life misfits. And I'd feel okay there because Flannery took care of things. Justice got served. I forgot to pack her gigantic book of short stories because everything was so last minute. I'd wanted to escape so badly that when Dad mentioned this trip with his family, I'd asked, "Can I come?" without even thinking. Mom had tried to put her foot down about taking a vacation right before exams, but luckily for me, my brother Muhammad is home for the summer from college. He talked her into letting me come. She listens to practically everything he says. If it had only been me telling her I needed to get away, far away from East Spring, she would have talked over me. She didn't know I had to get away from a monster. And the truth is, no one can know. And that is the opening of Saints and Misfits, a novel by S.K. Ali. And it is the story of Jana and how she deals with the saints and the misfits and the monsters in her life. It is real. It is heartbreaking. It is wonderful. And there's a sequel called Misfit in Love, also by Jana. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. You've got 6 new... No, they're not new. I'm so used to saying that. There's 6 wonderful realistic fiction books, and they're all by authors. Every one of them is by authors who wrote other fabulous realistic fiction. So if you saw something you're interested in today, pop over to our website at manliuslibrary.org. You can put it on hold, or even better, come in and see us. We'd love to see you. We miss you. Come see me in the children's room or in the teen room. We can talk some more about books. If you go to our website at manliuslibrary.org and click on the summer reading tile, you can sign up for the teen summer reading program. It's not too late. There's also other fabulous programs and activities going on in the library this summer. So look into those as well. We're open regular hours. Come in and see us. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next week. I'll be back to your regularly scheduled What's New in the Teen Room programming. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Happy reading.